This is an open letter to President William Samoei Ruto. I bring greetings to the President from the people of the Republic of Kenya, from the subjects of the President. I send these greetings directly to the President because I know there are many Kenyans who would want to talk to the President, to meet the President, even to address him in similar manner, but they don't have that opportunity. I do it on their behalf. In the recent past, the past 2 to 3 months, I've had the opportunity to traverse the country, not in the manner of Marara Kebaso, not out there to fault government or to see what the people are saying, but just in the ordinary business of my life. I therefore feel it is necessary. I'm obliged as a citizen, as a person who loves this country, as a person who cherishes peace and stability. I feel obliged to tell the President that the people are hurting. The people are both hungry and angry. The people are collapsing under the weight of the hard economic realities. On behalf of the people of the Republic of Kenya, and after sending the greetings to the President, I tell the President, the people are suffering because the health sector has collapsed. Long before the fiasco and the shenanigans of Chief Shah, Taifa, and NHIF, the health sector is completely collapsed. At the height of this collapse and the suffering and the pain occasioned to the people of Kenya in the health sector, there's yet another scandal about leasing equipment in a similar manner brought by the President who came before you, Your Excellency. Kenyans have children not going to school because of all the challenges you can think of. Hungry children who can't walk to school. Schools that cannot be accessed during rain season because of floods. Kenyans watch as their university-going children come back home, either because the lecturers are on senseless strikes, or because they cannot maintain themselves on campus. Even those who have no challenge with fees cannot maintain themselves on campus because they will die, they don't have food. Kenyans are suffering because the education system is not working for them. Kenyans watch as loved ones die because they can't take them to hospital. Kenyans are going to bed hungry. I wish to tell the President that people who long walked out of the bread path are back to a life where they are chasing after bread. There are people who thought they had made it at least to some degree and some level, where they wouldn't have to bother about what they will eat, what their children will eat, the little mundane things of school fees, of rent.
Hi, my name is Eileen Akal, and I'm the head of training at Center for Innovative Technology Limited, Scitec. If you finish your Form 4 and you would like to enter into an engineering field, architectural field, or any related field, please come to Scitec. We will train you how to be industry ready. We will also train you how to make engineering drawings. We will train you how to draw using the software.
I did my degree in China for 4 years. After I finish my degree, I come back to my country, Kenya. But the knowledge I find in Scitec, it's much better than the 4 years I spent in China.
We can empower a lot of young people in Kenya to gain gainful employment. And I want to speak to parents out there. If you have a child who's just done fourth form, between the time they do their exams and the time they enter tertiary education, there are so many months there they waste. Bring them here. In those short months, they will gain skills that they can use to advance their careers, to start their own even private companies. They can find work online, and when they go to university, they'll be so way ahead of their peers.
Welcome to Scitec.
Now they have joined their lower brothers and sisters, their lower dears, and must every day chase after food and shelter. Mr. President, your countrymen are collapsing under the weight of taxes and levies. And they wonder, Your Excellency, why you subject them to this, yet you love them and they love you. I must clarify this, that despite all the pain and suffering, there is a sizable number of Kenyans who love Your Excellency. They love you. They go through the pain of wondering, like Job in the Bible, why all these things are happening to them, like Job in the Bible. Calamity after calamity befell Job, but he maintained the faith. Finally, when all was lost, including children, the wife told Job, this God of yours, the God you serve, the God you are faithful, he has deserted you. And that's where Kenyans are. Those who love you are beginning to ask, the man we love, why has he deserted us? Mr. President, those who love you are suffering the most because they cannot believe that this is happening to them. And the source of the misery is the man they love most. In this sojourn and the traveling across the country, there's one thing that sticks out that I would wish to share with the President. I wish I was able to sit down with the President over a cup of tea. I'll tell him some of these things as a person who loves this country, who wishes him well. That I've been shocked, beyond surprise, I've been shocked. Listening to the voices of people from areas that I would never have imagined would say the sort of things they are saying about this country. I have friends in Rift Valley, and I've been to some spots in Rift Valley, deep in Kalenjin land. And the people are telling me, Manyora, tell Ruto we are suffering. So, Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir, if those around you lie to you and they hide this fact from you, if you call the intelligence chief one breakfast and over breakfast look at him in the eyes and tell him, when IG Haji, tell me the truth. Is it true, like I've heard from people like Manyora, that even my own people are unhappy with me? Look at him in the eye. Ask Haji, please, if you don't have an answer, go and come back after a week. and tell me whether it is true that deep in Kalenjin land, there are people who are saying, we are suffering under Ruto. Don't have to trust me. You have the instruments of state, Your Excellency. Use them. Don't trust your advisors. Use the instruments of state given to you and find out why individuals deep in Nandi County, deep in Bomet and Kericho, have awful things to say about you, about the suffering. I know two things, Your Excellency. One is that blood is thicker than water. We are highly ethnicized as a people. And no time is this more so than during elections. And therefore, Your Excellency, the Kalenjins who today are saying they are suffering and they can't understand why you are doing this, they will vote for you. So I know this. They will vote for you. So don't worry about the votes, because they will vote for you. But use them as a barometer to measure. Use them as thermometer to measure the temperature in the country. That if you went to your own house and your own children and family are saying certain things about you, about the things you do in public, even when they are the beneficiaries, a community may not get material wealth from you, but they have a bragging right over you. So if your own children and wife or husband in the house say certain things about you, you have to stop and listen. Because when they come from people, you say busybodies, opposition people, people want my seat, jealous people, enemies of development, like Mo used to tell us, sponsored by their masters. That you can say. That has been said several times. But when you want to know the truth, don't get it from Manyora. Manyora is only guiding you and directing you from where you'll find the truth, that the people of this country are hungry and angry, that the people of this country are hurting. Just go to your home. And don't go there in a helicopter. Don't drive there in those big vehicles. Use the instruments of state to find out. Summon Haji and tell him to give you the truth in a week. I hope Haji will give you the truth. The truth is, people in this country are suffering, that they are hurting. And they can't understand why. So the second thing, perhaps, Your Excellency, you may take solace and heart in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 10 to 22. And say the people are suffering because it is in the natural order of things that when the Israelites disobeyed God, when he told them a human king will subject you to suffering and pain and humiliation, and they refused. You can take solace and, in fact, refuge in that. That the people will suffer because it is in the ordinary business of society that the leaders will inflict pain on those under them. But outside those two, Your Excellency, I would advise, as a humble subject and a citizen of this country, who means no ill. I've been around for a while in this country. I've spoken my thing on television, on radio. My voice has been in print media, in newspapers and magazines, and on my YouTube channel. I've never been one to scheme against anybody. least of all government. The intelligence will tell you Manyora will never be found anywhere in conspiracies. So what I say is really from the love I have for my country. That Your Excellency, what is required of you to restore hope in your people is not difficult. The things you do in the name of the citizens of this country, Your Excellency, surely the citizens must be there to enjoy them. If you build houses and people are dead, who live in those houses, Your Excellency? If you construct roads and bridges and there are no people to use those roads, if you tax people to do good things and their children become criminals because you've taxed them to a point they can't take care of their families, that an ordinary parent cannot buy food for the children who then go out to fend for themselves and in the process develop into juvenile delinquents and finally into crooks and criminals, then that taxation was in vain. If you come up with an arrangement for health care through an insurance scheme that robs salaried people of their income, making nonsense of working, then you have not helped anything. And therefore, Your Excellency, we are lucky in this country. And by extension, Your Excellency, you are a very lucky man. Because the things that bedevil this country, the things that require attention in this country are within your reach, Your Excellency. Somebody was asking me, what would Ruto need to do to become president again in 2027? I told him Ruto is a lucky man because there are things that are clear. And by extension, your opponents, especially bold opponents, Your Excellency, like Okiya Mtata, who are willing to break away from the normal, the usual, to get out of the box, who are willing to think and to look other people in the eyes, have things to tell the people that, and such a things will excite the people. So that on the one hand, there are those things, Your Excellency, you can do to ease the pain and suffering of Kenyans, because they are within your reach. The excess levies and taxation on fuel, on petrol and diesel, these are things you can remove overnight. And the cost of diesel and petrol will be bearable and will affect doing business and will create employment. The corruption within the energy sector that makes the cost of electricity too exorbitant to attract investment. These are things within your reach, Your Excellency. With a stroke of a pen, you can reduce the cost of electricity in a manner in which I saw Yoweri Museveni talking. And this will affect the state of the nation. On the flip side, Your Excellency, if a man endowed with the ability to reach the people in the manner you are, and in the manner you did in the elections of 2022, they will only have to identify those things they will do radically. That I become president on day one, I'll reduce the cost of fuel by 40%. The diesel is going to become 110 shillings. That the electricity will go down by so much that with 500 shillings instead of the 19 units you are getting, you could end up getting 60 units. Such a man will be very attractive to a restless society, to a restless nation. And therefore, I consider this, Your Excellency, as a leakage to an exam. Look at the things Kenyans are complaining about. And in your own quiet moments, when you are alone, without anybody around you, ask yourself, should my people suffer because I must do 1, 2, 3? Should I subject my people to the pain of sleeping hungry and watching loved ones die because I've invaded their payslips? Your Excellency, the answers will come. I know you love this country. I know you care for this country, Your Excellency. The answers will come. Because if they don't come from you, they will come from elsewhere. How I wish personally, because I cherish peace and stability. Disruptions are never good. How I wish the new Kenya is birthed by you, Your Excellency. All of us will be happy people, looking into the future with a lot of hope, because the hand of the president has been seen and felt in trying to make things work for each one of us in this country.